Hey everyone, I've been spending some time with the new control system components for First Tech Challenge, and there's plenty that we can talk about on that subject, but right now I want to talk about cables. With the beta package that arrived to First Tech Challenge teams, there were a number of cables, and they are really nice. So for example, this is the bridge cable or the cable that goes to the A301 motors. It is a 4-wire cable, has really nice braiding on it, heat shrink at either end to keep the braiding in place, and the minimum required amount of flex at the end of the cable, the free wire, that keeps it from breaking or pulling out the contacts if it's going into a module and then immediately taking a 90-degree turn. Overall, just a really nice cable. It feels snug. It feels a lot better than what we have when it comes to, for example, the XT30 for power in First Tech Challenge today. Now, the replacement for the XT30 is this Molex Mega-Fit cable. This is the power cable that goes between the battery dock and the Motioncore unit, and it is also really nice. Has that braiding on it, heat shrink at either end, a bit of free cable to help it flex, and it feels like a really solid connection. And just because of how this connector is made, it's not going to have a lot of the same problems that the XT30 did in terms of compressing pins in the control hub and eventually causing things to be pulled out or loose so that you lose connection in the middle of a match. So really excited there. Now, I'm sure that over time, there will be plenty of FTC-related vendors where you can buy this cable in whatever length you might need. However, today, if you want to go out and buy the cable, you probably end up on a site like DigiKey or Mouser in the United States, and there's others available internationally. And I just want to caution you to be careful. If you're buying cables from these third-party vendors that aren't making them for the purpose of First Tech Challenge, then you may run into something you don't expect. So, for example, this is a cable I bought from Mouser. It looks exactly the same, has the right connectors at the end, even has this little extra retaining clip, which seems cool. It looks like it's the right thing. It even has wire at the correct gauge, but it's hiding something. And it's not exactly obvious what the problem is right off the bat. So if we look at the cable that came with the beta kit, what we have is a non-symmetric cable. If you look at both connectors, the red wire is on the same side for both connectors, meaning if you pulled that cable out and the connectors are both facing the same direction, red would be on top on one side and on bottom on the other, not symmetrical. On the other hand, this cable I bought from Mouser is symmetrical. The two wires go from top to top and bottom to bottom. And it's not immediately obvious that this is a problem because the two wires happen to be the same color. This is why wiring colors can be so important. So I put some red tape on here to help make it a little more clear what's happening. On one side, the red wire is on the left, and on the other side, it is on the right, if you're looking at the connector from the same perspective. So what that means is if you use this cable to go from your battery dock over to Motioncore, you would actually be reversing the polarity on the power, which is not great. Now, supposedly Motioncore has reverse polarity protection. I'm not going to test that on this beta unit to be sure, so we'll just have to take their word for it. So it probably wouldn't be catastrophic to the modules that you have plugged in, but it's still not something you want to do if you can avoid it. So be careful if you're going out and buying any third-party cables, because even though most of the details might be exactly what you're looking for, the correct wire gauge, the correct connectors, it may be wired opposite from what you actually need. That's all. Just wanted to talk about cables for a minute. Be safe out there. I'll see you at the field.